Away from that, 7 government agencies have so far been migrated onto the Ghana card. It is expected that 17 agencies will comply by the end of the year. The chief executive and founder of Margins Group, the implementing company for the Ghana card, Moses Baden, has disclosed that telecommunication companies will also be migrated onto the card before the end of the year. It will save Ghana $1.5 billion if all government agencies can be migrated onto this platform. So far, 15.68 million people have been onboarded. 16,000 foreigners have also been registered who are paying for the card. By now, it is expected that some 500,000 foreigners should also be registered. That's a shortfall of the target by more than 60%. Let's hear from the Margins Group boss, Moses Baden.
So basically, the organizations themselves have to go through the transition. Today, 5 organizations are transitioning. SNP is almost done. National Insurance is almost done. They have all the data, you know. The banks are on board. They are being onboarded as we speak. The telcos are going to verify the numbers of national ID so that you know that the numbers are who they claim they are. Don't have all those fraud issues. We're still discussing how we're going to do that. The Control and Accountant General's Department is on board. Passport Office, so that your data goes straight to the passport office. You can't change it midstream. It's on board. And so we have all these institutions currently being onboarded. But under NIS laws, there are 17 mandatory institutions. You know, if you take NIS law as amended, you find that there are 17 mandatory institutions, and then there are LI 2111 as amended in 2016, I believe, or 2017. And all these mandatory institutions are all government institutions who need to give you a service, but they need to identify you. They can do that seamlessly. Today, we have verification platforms built with the NIA, where even if you don't have your card, we can verify you in 300 milliseconds. So you can see the effect of that. I mean, if you, there's an accident and we don't know if people are there in the mall, we can find out who they are. I mean, the savings are multiple. So to answer your question, because I know you have more questions, now I answered the holistically, right? So
Yes.
you get e-government services, and 17 institutions are mandated to join. 7 of them are joining as we speak. The Vice President put a deadline for 31st December for all this to happen. But it's not an easy, if you look at the case study of this is the biggest instant issuance project, period, that has been done in the world in real time. And people don't recognize how difficult it is.
When you were speaking, you spoke about how about 95% of identity cards that have been implemented in various countries, projects in various countries haven't worked, either by business models that were used or transitions and all that. What's going to make this a long-lasting one? You've spoken about business model. Is that enough to carry this through?
This is the first national ID project in the world that has been led by an African company. Conceptualized, designed, built, financed by an African company. And because the private sector is co-financing with governments, we have an interest to ensure that it's delivered over the 15-year period, you know. And the model that's built has a revenue model that is market-driven. Because if you take banks, for instance, the reason why our credit is high is because there are so many fraudsters who cause bad loans that we can't collect. So those bad loans get piled up on our cost of risk. So interest rate goes up. So you see Bank of Ghana hasn't changed its rate. It's very low. What accounts for the difference between the Bank of Ghana base rate and the bank lending rate? It's risk. But if you know where everybody lives, and you know they are who they are, they can't hide, right? Interest rates should come down. I mean, I can talk for a long time, but the multiply effect is that without a proper identification, fundamental database, that prevents ghost names, that prevents fraud in SNP systems, that prevents fraud in NHI. I mean, forget about that, even the people in the revenue. The amount of money that government saves, and the fact that the need It's actually market driven. Means that it's a sustainable revenue model that's built on a proper contract, that has proper service level agreements, proper risk arrangements, proper review mechanisms, has the private sector and the public sector working together to ensure that it's sustainable. Do you get me? Because you need to hire the right people to do this kind of work. The right people cost a lot of money. Only the private sector can afford that. You need to make sure that citizens' privacy is protected. Only public people can do that. So that public-private partnership is the best of both worlds. And it's designed right here in Ghana, and we know it will work because both parties are determined that it will work. And I mean, the relatives, they each know the pudding, right? This is the first time that 15.685 million cards have been issued, and more than 80% of them have been issued instantly in an environment like that. I mean, mass registration was April 2019. In 2021, we ended in December 2020, despite COVID. We've done already 15.6 million, what we couldn't do in 10 years, from 2006, when the first national ID was awarded. You see the amount of time. So for me, we've crossed a critical point. It's just the renewed interests and the political willpower from government. Private sector, we are margins, we are committed, we don't have a choice, otherwise we have too much invested in it.